Welcome to this new video. This video is regarding a new slicer, that is list slicer, that has been added to the Power BI desktop. So when you check this Power BI desktop visuals, you won't be able to see the new list slicer. So for getting that, you need to go to the file, you need to go to the options and settings, and you have to get the options. So in these options, you can go to the global tab and you can go down and get the preview features. And in the preview features, you can enable this list slicer visual, which will be under the button slicer visual. You can select the wish list slicer visual and you can select OK. And now, of course, you need to restart the Power BI desktop. So once you restart the Power BI desktop, you can check in the visualization. And of course, you will be getting this list slicer. Of course, that is what the new feature is. And we will talk about that today. And this new slicer will be having lots of extra features than the previous slicer options. And you have more settings you can see in the visual than the previous slicer. And of course, we have lots of features also in this slicer. So we will create one slicer and we will see how this has been done. So we can create a slicer. We can select a slicer, list slicer. And here what we can do is we will select the dimension year and the month name. So as soon as you selected the month name, of course, as usual, it went in the hierarchy way under the year. So you can select the year and you can see the month. So the problem is here only one single select option is there. So in order to make it a multi-select, you can go to the visual settings, you can go to the slicer settings and you can disable this single select. Now it became the multi-select option. So to check what all the options we are having, we can take a card here, card visual, and simply we can put the total sales under the card. So you can see April selection as well as August selection in 2022. Now you can change this look and feel of this slicer. You can go to the slicer settings, you can go to layout option, and here one good setting is that, okay, now you have seen buttons shown, isn't it? So there are 5 buttons that are shown inside the slicer. If you enlarge or make it small, those 5 slicers will be always shown here. So you can change it. If you are changing it to 8 options will be showing here. 8 filter options will be showing here. So you can select all these 8 options. So for that you can use this button shown, and the space between the buttons, you can change the space between these buttons here. And indication means, okay, now this 2022 and April, this month are the hierarchy of this 2022. If you want to change the border of this, that means the border line of this month, you can just move it. It has moved. So with respect to changing the alignment, you can use this. And then, so now if you hover the mouse in above this slicer, you can see the change. And if you select, you can see the background color changing here. So you can change this color also, and even you can change this selection also. To change this selection, you can go to selection icon, because if you are disabling it, no icon will be there or no select checkbox will be there. So you can select this selection icon, and this is the default value. And if you want to change, that means this is hover we saw the color is changing, almost like a small little change is shown. If you want to change the color, you can change the color here. That means when you hover the mouse over the particular slicer, the color will be changing with respect to that. And if you are selecting the selected, and if you are changing the color to this theme, you can see the one that has been selected, that checkbox, that color has been changed. And even the tick mark you can change. So if you want to change this layout of this slicer, you can change that. Now it is like a rectangle. You can select the shape and you can change it to rounded rectangle. That will be changed to rounded rectangle. And now, of course, the selected slicer value, we have the same font size. That means, okay, August is the same font size and the default color of this is almost like white. You can change that also. You can change it to, can select it here, selected, and here you can change it to some other color, like you can change it to green. If you change it to green, that will be shown green. And you can even enlarge whatever it is, 16. So whichever value will be selected, the selected slicer value will start enlarging. And you can change the button also. So now the button here, when you select the button, the background will be black in color. So if you select this button here, the default will be here. And if you go to select it, and if you check it to fill, and if you change it to your desired color, you can change it. And if you want to give an image, you can give. And for shadowing also you can give. And the accent bar you can give. Accent bar means one bar will be showing into the left side. and you can select the accent bar width also for selected one. So now for selected one, you can give it as 7. So you see there is a small difference here in the color that will be shown once you unselect it. See, once you select, that small difference will be shown here. These are some of the features which you can play with around this list slicer. Hope it was an interesting video. Have a nice day.